what I want to tell you about is how the GPS system works in the first place, how your device is able to, or any GPS receiver is able to figure out your location on the earth. So how that system works. The reason I wanted to cover that or talk about that is it has implications on how we do what kind of features work in an application, what kind of features may not work properly, stuff like that. If you are aware of the basics of how it works, it can help think about it. Sometimes clients come to us also and say things which are not very practical. They sound that they will work, but in the real world it won't work properly. Then the client will come and why is this working like this, and so on and so forth. So, and also whenever you're using GPS in an app, especially in an Android or something like that, where it is running, it can keep running in the background. Even in the iPhone, you can write a service which will continuously check the GPS. So we need to understand what are the drawbacks of the GPS. Is it possible to use only the cellular tower-based location services to achieve the same objective? Because there's a trade-off in power use. So continuously using the GPS chip in the device uses a lot of power. So that is the reason why I wanted to talk about that a little bit. And also from the point of view of, you need to understand how the GPS works also when you're doing testing. Because when you're testing, we will do testing in the simulator and stuff. In the real world, when you put it on the device, it's not working properly. Or it's not working properly because we are not testing properly. We are standing in this room, then we are going sideways a little bit and saying, oh, no change or nothing is happening. You have to realize how it actually works in the real world, what is the accuracy of the device, so that you are able to test properly. In most cases, to test, you need to at least come out of the office and go across the road to see a slight change in your location as detected by the device. So that is why I want to explain a little bit of how the whole system works in the first place. Okay. Basic funda is that you've got satellites that are circling the earth, which are transmitting a signal. And that signal is basically saying, this is the time as per my clock, and all the GPS clocks will be synchronized perfectly with an accuracy of 14 nanoseconds or something like that. It's a very tiny difference. Speed of light is how much? 3 into 10 power 8. So that the 8 is the important figure. 3 into 10 power 8. Accuracy of the GPS clock is 14 nanoseconds. Let's say assume it's 10 nanoseconds, or let's say it is, suppose 10 nanoseconds, 10 into 10 power minus 9. So what is the accuracy of the system per se? What would be the accuracy if you multiply those numbers? Basically 3 meters. Right? 3 meters accuracy it should give you. Or at least the clock, so basically what is happening is it is saying this is the time, and you are measuring what time you got the signal, and you are multiplying by speed of light to figure out how much distance was travelled. Okay, so that's the basic concept. Now, so as I said, the clock is very accurate, some 10 nanoseconds. It's based on an atomic clock, which is the most accurate clock known to man. And atomic clock's accuracy per se is even more than the 10 nanoseconds or whatever, much more. So these are extremely accurate. So the satellite is saying this is my current location based on some Cartesian coordinates or some polar coordinates, I'm not sure what, and that also changes based on the system. It's saying this is my location as in X, Y, and Z, and at this signal that you are reading came and was transmitted at such and such time, and accurate up to 10 nanoseconds. So your receiver, your GPS receiver is listening to that signal. So suppose the time at the one satellite is there, satellite 1. It sent a signal which basically says X1, Y1, Z1, Z1, comma T1. This is the signal that your device received. So like that, there are several satellites up there. So basically, using these satellites, your device has also got one clock. So it says I got the signal at T clock, and he sent at T1. If he sent at T1 and I got at T clock, means the time difference between these two signals was Tc minus T1 into speed of light is where his distance from me. So I am at a distance of so many kilometers or so many meters from this point X1, Y1, Z1. right? So suppose this is the Earth, and this is the satellite, and you are here. If he sent that signal and you received it at TC, and you will figure out that the distance between you and that satellite is TC minus T1 into speed of light is some distance D1 or something like that. So that means that as far as you are concerned, you could be anywhere on this circle, right? Not a circle, sphere actually. Okay, just to give you some perspective, what is the radius of the Earth? It's about 6,500 or how much actually? Correct number is 6,300 kilometers. Typically, a GPS satellite's altitude above the surface of the Earth is around 22,000 kilometers. So a total of about 28,000 in total. Okay. So your distance from here to here will be about 22,000 kilometers. So you could be anywhere on a sphere of 22,000 kilometers radius sphere. You could be anywhere.
But satellites will only read objects on the Earth or around the sphere.
Satellite will read means satellite is not reading anything. The satellite is passively transmitting.
But it has to transmit something like your device is located at this position, right?
No. So for every device, that every time you buy a cell phone, the satellite can't say, Venki, your phone is here. No, satellite is saying, I am here. It is just sending a random signal. It's like one man is sitting in some room and shouting. It's up to you to hear that signal, and up to her to hear the voice.
Related to Earth, satellite will be in a fixed position.
No, that also it will not be.
Then how it will?
It will say right at this very moment when you hear this signal that I am transmitting. So every few microseconds it will send one signal. It will say signal number so and so, my current location is so and so, and the time is so and so. Then it moves a little bit more. It says signal number so and so, my current now location is this, and time is this. It will keep doing that, and like that each satellite will do. So this is not fixed. This anyway you don't know, which is why the whole problem, the whole system. Only thing you know is this distance. So that means that you could be anywhere on this sphere. And the GPS system is not used just for navigation on the road. It is developed for military applications to provide guidance to missiles, satellites, airplanes, ships, even other satellites. It also provides guidance to other satellites as to their precise location. Okay. Inertial navigation and satellite-based navigation, all this was developed by the US military. And all the other similar systems like GPS that are there, their main objective has also been military-based. So it is not it is not specific to being on the Earth. Even somebody at this point may also be using this signal. So conceptually, if you look at it, practically yes, most of us will be worried about the Earth side of it. But conceptually, if you think about it, it could be anywhere in that sphere. So that is not good enough. So you need one more at least. So if you take the second one and the distance is like this, so some other sphere is also created. Intersection of two spheres is what? If they are like this touching, then it will be a point. If it's going further inside, it will be a circle. Two spheres are there. Their intersection is a circle in between where they meet. Understood? So now if you have two signals,
May not be a circle.
if not a circle, it will be a point. It cannot be greater than a circle.
Not greater than a circle, but
No, only the point where it's touching the other circle, not the
Point
whole part.
We are not talking about the whole volume.
okay.
We have two signals, kada. If you two spheres are there, you know that you have to, your position has to solve both those equations.
Okay, we are considering only circle. I mean,
See,
plane of
you're supposed to consider only the circle because you are, when you are saying you could be anywhere on this sphere, we are not saying you could be here, kada. You could only be on the surface of the sphere
okay.
because you are at a particular distance from that sphere.
Okay, got it.
So similarly, you are at some distance from this sphere. So the intersection of those two spheres surfaces is what you are considering. For any two spheres, it could either be a single point or it could be a big circle. In practical application for GPS, it will never be a point, but forget about that. So usually, or at least in many cases, you will get a circle. Something like this might be there, where these two actually come here like this. Some circle. So now you've reduced the problem from anywhere on a big sphere to anywhere on a circle. So that is also not good enough. So let me just simplify this now.